Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's talk about every game happened on Wednesday night, March 12th. We got 6 games. The first game is the Cavs lost to the Magic 122-128. Harden finally had a great game, 30 points, 8 assists, 5 threes, but since he got traded, he hasn't been good. Of course, he's got the finger issue, 83rd ranked player in the last month. And Donovan Mitchell as well. Um, Well, he's still 28th ranked player, which is still very good. But I think with the arrival of Harden in the last month, he's only averaged 24 points. That's low for him. Two threes. Mobley, 2 blocks is great, but what is going on? What is the free throw? 2 for 7, 13 rebounds is great, 4 assists. Um, yeah, for Mobley, I think he has not really improved since his rookie year. He's putting up similar numbers, at least in fantasy. In real life, probably Keon Ellis is a great stream for defensive stats and threes. He had 5 threes here and added a steal and a block. And Sam Morrow is great for three point streaming. We look at the Magic. No Anthony Black, so Jalen Suggs played 32 minutes, 3 steals is great. A must roster. A lot of steals, some assists, and some threes, and some points. Desmond Bain, he started playing better and better as the season goes on, and Wagner has been out. Um, Ben Carroll was out for a little while. You know what? He's actually the 7th ranked player in the last month. Very very quietly, like he's shooting. He has been shooting 58% in the last month, averaging 26 points. So it's like every time I read his stats, he's been popping off. Um, Next year, I don't think we should. I'm not really high on him because when Wagner comes back, there's just not enough usage to go around. But he's playing great so far um, in the last month. Ben Carroll, you know, decent, and Tristan da Silva, he's been getting a lot of minutes. If you need some defensive stats, you need a guy that's efficient, won't hurt you anywhere, right? If you're trying to win efficiency, he's not going to turn the ball over. We can stream him. He's getting some minutes. The next game is the Raptors lost to the Pelicans. I'm surprised Pelicans are still playing all their guys. 111, 122. The Raptors, let's see. Emmanuel quickly, 25 points, 3 threes is great. Brandon Ingram did his thing. And I will say one thing about Ingram this year is just, especially the defensive numbers. In the last month, his average zero point 0.9 steals and 0.5 blocks. So actually, but I think a couple years ago he was getting zero point 0.6 steals a game. So to him, that's a 50% increase. Although probably doesn't help that much for your team, but he had 4 steals here. Last month, he really struggled with his efficiency. Scotty had 3 steals and a block. Didn't really do much else, but this is why Scotty is great in fantasy. Right? He doesn't have to do a lot. In the other areas, if you're getting 3 steals and a block, RJ, you really only have him for points. And Pirtle had 3 blocks. That's all right. For the Pelicans, they've been using this strategy. They've been starting Herbert Jones at the center. So Derek Queen has definitely taken a big step back in terms of the minutes. Still had a steal and a block. And, he has some value if there's a back-to-back for the Pelicans. You can definitely stream Derek Queen. Even just around 20 minutes because, if it's a back-to-back, you use one acquisition, you get 2 games. They're still playing Trey Murphy, who hit 5 threes, 3 steals, great, 28 points. They're giving Devontae Murray 31 minutes, and they give Zion Williamson 31. So Pelicans, I don't know if they have their pick, but, they're saying that, hey, we're going to we're going to try to win. So that's good for all the if you own their players. The Knicks beat the Jazz. The Knicks are gonna play their guys, and the Jazz, it's been for them. It's been funny season for a couple months now. Karl Anthony Towns versus a bad Jazz team. I did expect him to put up better numbers, but just 13 shots, 3 threes, 7 assists. Could be worse. OG had 22 points, 2 steals and a block, 3 threes. Super efficient game, and so is Jalen Brunson. 4 threes, 10 for 11 from the free throw line. That's great. It's good to see him getting some assists and some steals. Jalen Brunson, you know he's gonna bring the points. You know he's gonna bring the free throws. Um, there's so many Jalen's actually ranked ahead of him. In the last month, he's just the 71st ranked player. Not a lot of defensive stats. 8 assists is great, 23 points, and he's only shooting 80. He's only shooting 81% from the line. But to me, on a per game basis, he's like a top 40 player. But he, has more availability, and the categories that he provide, it's kind of like Ja Morant. You're gonna on a per game basis, those guys not gonna rank as high because they don't have as many defensive stats as some of the other guys, and but it's hard to get free throws on the waiver wire. It's almost impossible. It's hard to get assists, and and of course, he's pretty solid when it comes to points and threes. Mikal Bridges continues to struggle. 2 blocks. I think he's droppable. For the Jazz, Filipowski must roster, but there will be games he doesn't play 30 minutes like here. It's also a blowout. 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 15 points is great. Ace Bailey, 21 points and 5 threes. He's been pretty consistent getting points and threes on this team because, Keontae George, they're just going to play him 20 minutes. So the usage got to go somewhere. And Ace Bailey is taking advantage. And we know Bryce Sensabaugh, he could put up points in a hurry. 6 threes, 29 points, 5 assists as well, and a steal. So I think we want to stream him as well, especially if Keontae George is also out. But again, it's hard to predict these guys' minutes from game to game. The next game, KD's not going to win anything this year. 93-129, they got blown out bad by Denver, and Denver's been struggling too. If you look at his teammates, KD, it's very easy. Just double KD, and you let the other guys figure it out. And if you look at their starting lineup, right, Amen Thompson has some playmaking, but all the other guys are 3-and-D guys. So, what does it do if you're super good defensively, but you can't put the ball in the bucket? And plus, versus superior offensive talent, it doesn't really matter how good your defense is, right? They're gonna score regardless, maybe not as efficiently. Meanwhile, you're really struggling to score. Taro Eason Amen Thompson, nobody really had a good game. Shangun 0 for 4 from the free throw line. Fantasy wise, it's efficiency. That's his biggest problem. And this year, I think the rebound numbers, 146 ranked player, he's averaging 7.4 rebounds. There's so many other guys grabbing rebounds from him. I would expect him to average 10, right? Just 18 points as well in the last month, 5 assists. I'd expect that to be higher. 1.3 blocks is good, only 0.7 steals, so it's been disappointing. But next year, maybe we can get him cheap, maybe in the 4th round, right? That's when you can get him. If you draft him in the 2nd or 3rd, there's not a lot of upside, especially when you're playing with all the other guys. Reed Shepard continues to be, he needs to be rostered. Struggled here, but still had 2 steals and block. And just really good at getting all the peripheral stats. I'm really surprised, how many defensive stats this guy get. I thought he's just a jump shooter, but no. For Denver, easy work for Jokic, a triple-double in 30 minutes. It's just ridiculous numbers, 5 steals and block, 13 assists and 12 rebounds. Jamal Murray had 30 points. The Denver couldn't miss from 3 as well. So that's another thing. You playing all these guys, super tall, athletic wing guys, but Denver shot 50%. So, and Jokic getting 13 assists. So maybe doubling Jokic is not even the right move. At least this game, it did not work out for them. Aaron Gordon had 0 points, but I think he had some streaming value. And Cameron Johnson had 3 threes, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. One of the best games from him. But it's hard to, if you want threes, I would rather just stream Tim Hardaway Jr. because, he's way more consistent giving me those. Moving on to the next one, the Charlotte Hornets just keep winning. They beat the Kings. They beat Kings 117-109. Yeah, they just keep winning games. And Knipo, great, 5 threes, 24 points. Miles Bridges, everybody just played well. How about LaMelo too? 30 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, and steals, 6 threes. This whole team is really clicking. Right, Diabate, 2 points. That's not his job to score. 6 offensive rebounds. The whole starting lineup, Brandon Miller too. Yeah, they're just playing so well. And then they got Kobe White off the bench. Not really fantasy relevant, but yeah, I'm really interested to see how good the Charlotte Hornets team could be. They play Detroit in the first round, and who knows? It could be a competitive series. If they end up being like a 7th or 8th seed. Honestly, can they get to the 6th seed? Actually, I feel like the Knicks and Celtics probably tougher matchup for these young guys. I'd rather play the Pistons. For the Kings, Precious Achiuwa continues to the tank commander. Great, absolutely must roster. Renard had 3 blocks. Continue to roster him, even though he only played 25 minutes. And Clifford too. Big game from him. 8 assists, 2 steals and block with 2 threes, 18 points. And for whatever reason, they just played DeRozan 39 minutes. I guess he had it going tonight. 17 for 22, could not be stopped. 6 assists, 2 steals and block. So that's great. But I think honestly, he could be droppable at this point of the season because you just don't know how many minutes he's gonna play. Killian Hayes is on this team, so if you need assists, threes, steals, you could stream him if you're starting over Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's being out. So a lot of value on this team right now. For Chua is still somehow on the waiver wire. Clifford, I would roster him, and of course Renard must roster, and now even we have Killian Hayes. Moving on to the next one, the Clippers scored 153 points, and without Harden, right? I don't think they really missed a beat. They're still winning a lot of games, and of course in the playoffs, that's going to hurt you. No Harden, right? Your ceiling is not as high, but the argument is Harden really hasn't produced in the playoffs. But Clippers not going to win it all. They might make some noise, make a competitive series. Who knows, versus the Thunder. For the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards really popped off. 36 points, 3 threes, 11 for 12. The Timberwolves had been struggling. Edman was a minus 25, and then Rudy was a minus 38. Jaden McDaniels was a minus 40. What's going on with the Wolves? And they're known for their defense. I guess it was a back-to-back, but something is going on here. And of course, when Kawhi is playing at this level, last night it's hard. Dante, Naz Reid, I think those guys in the playoffs, you got to know what they provide. Dante brings the threes and steals. If you don't need those, for sure you could drop him. Right, let's say in a situation you need blocks and field goal, right? He's the opposite. If you're trying to win both categories, right, it's perfectly fine to let him go. Naz Reid actually had a decent game, 18 points off the bench. Randall struggled as well. And then we'll look at the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard. How about Kawhi Leonard? 45 points, 6 threes, 9 for 10 from the free throw line, 15 for 20. Unbelievable stuff from Kawhi. If you drafted Kawhi in the 4th, 5th round, you're really happy. You must be doing super, super well. He's a legit top 5, top 6 player. And he really hasn't really missed a lot of games. Consider how injury prone he is. Of course, he's going to rest a lot of back-to-backs, but whenever he plays, he's really good. Chris Dunn, assist, steals, if you need that. Darius Garland only played 23 minutes as well. He also had a good game, 5 threes, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 21 points. Yeah, football, Darius Garland. But little guard in the league, the problem with that in the playoffs, they're just getting attacked relentlessly by the opposing team. So how to hide him on defense is going to be an issue. Derrick Jones Jr., he's also playing super, super well. If you need 3-and-D, I think he definitely could be streamed. And Brook Lopez, again, if you need threes and blocks, he's the guy. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.